So anyways, what's up everybody? I'm John Vaughn. I want to thank you for coming here today. And what we're going to do here today is we're essentially going to talk about this software right here, what it is, why it's useful, how it can actually help you in your business. And we're going to go through a step-by-step process of everything you need to go from the time you actually get your account to getting it all set up and actually start using it and implementing it in your business. Now, I am going to go over completely the technical side. If you want, I can elaborate a little bit on the conceptual theory and marketing side, although I will make a disclaimer and tell you that I'm a software engineer and I'm not a marketer. So whenever I give you my advice on what you should be doing marketing-wise outside of a technical aspect on how to set it up and use it, take that with a grain of salt, because like I said, my degrees are in software engineering and they are not in marketing, so I don't claim to be a super marketer or know what I'm doing. So let me just tell you about Robo Contact, what it is, and then after I explain that, we'll just jump right into the system and we'll go through the training on how to set everything up. So essentially, and excuse my hat if you don't like my hat, I'm sorry about that. But don't take me less serious because I'm wearing a panda hat. So essentially what Robo Contact is, it is an automated lead generation and cold outreach software. So what it essentially allows you to do is it allows you to target B2B companies, so any business that is listed on Google Places, all right? So if a business has listed themselves on Google Places, it allows you to target that business, any location in the world, for any particular keyword that you want, and it will go out and find all those leads for you. Once it finds all those leads, it will actually go out to their websites, it will find their email addresses, it will also find all their different social profiles, like their Facebook profile, their LinkedIn profile, their Twitter profile, any of their social profiles. And then after that, what it will essentially do is it will deliver your messages directly to them. So it will automatically submit their contact us form. If we can find their contact us form, it will automatically submit it with your message. And then it will also, when we find their emails, it will actually deliver either your email, or as you'll see whenever we get into the training, it will deliver your series of emails. All right? So hopefully that all makes sense. And that's essentially from a high level concept. That's essentially what Robo Contact does. All right? So you can see all that information here. It allows you to instantly connect with your dream clients. As long as they're actually B2B, you can essentially search for targeted leads. You can export those leads instantly if you want. You can autofill contact us forms, and you can also completely put your cold outreach whenever it comes to email on complete autopilot, all right? So literally, I know you guys probably see this a lot on Facebook or just people talking all the time, put this on autopilot, put this on autopilot, all this on autopilot. And I know that's a term that gets used so much by people that, quite frankly, have no idea what they're talking about, all right? But I do want to tell you from a software engineering perspective, as much as you can actually be on autopilot, this will put you on autopilot. Now, if you guys are Robo Contact users, you guys would love to know one of the new features that we actually have scheduled in our backlog. We have several new features that we're going to be releasing, and one of those new features is essentially going to be complete autopilot, where you can just go in and you can pick different states and how many leads that you want to actually contact per day, and you just go in and set that campaign up, and then you never have to log into Robo Contact again. If you say, hey, I want to contact 100 people a day, you can go in and pick your states and the desired locations that you want to pick them from, and then every day it will just submit 100 contact us forms and send out 100 emails, and then stop, and the next day it will do it again, and you don't actually have to log back into the system, and it will be truly on autopilot. All right, so at any time, if you guys have any questions, I want you to just know that you can go in and you can ask the questions in the chat bot or in the Facebook chat anytime that you want, okay? So I'm gonna assume that as of right now, nobody has any actual questions that they want to ask, and we're good to go and just move forward with the actual training where we log in and I show you the software. Is that correct? If I don't hear anything, I'm just going to assume that that's correct. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the head shaking and say, if I see the head shaking, that you're just saying yes, that it is correct. All right. So don't be shy to put stuff in the actual chat bot or in the chat box. I love chat box so much. Every time I say chat box, it just comes out chat bot. So without further ado, what we're going to do is I want to say we're going to log into Robo Contact, but I can't actually log into Robo Contact until I get an account here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my chatbot, and I'm just going to set up a brand new user account. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and actually set up a brand new user account here in my chatbot. Robo Contact account that's actually never been used before, so that we can go from start to finish, and I can show you exactly how to use the system, how to set everything up. All right, so now essentially what I've done is I've just used my nice little chatbot, and I've added a nice new account right into Robo Contact. And it should be this account that's going to be right up here at the top. And here we go. I've just added this account, a brand new account. So I'm just going to go ahead and log into the system. All right. I'm going to log in as myself, just like you guys would log in for your accounts. And this is a brand new account. It has never, ever, ever, ever been used before. So the first thing I want you guys to notice in Robo Contact is if you ever have any questions or concerns or don't know what to do, definitely go check out the training tab, and the training tab will give you all the information that you need. If you still can't find the information that you need, you see this little chatbot right here, just click on that button right there and click this menu, and then just click on customer support and either submit a bug if something is not working right for you. That will hardly ever happen, but if for some reason it's not working for you, just click submit bug, and you'll be able to actually submit that report, or just, you know, have a little chat with us and ask us a question, and we'll respond back out to that chat for you. All right, so hopefully everybody was actually clear on what Robo Contact is and how it works. All right, so in order for us to do this, in order for us to actually send out emails on your behalf, in order for us to actually fill out contact us forms on your behalf, we need to know some information about you. That information is always going to be contained inside of a profile. So the first thing that we want to do whenever we come into Robo Contact, it may not be the first thing. I mean, you can kind of do it however you want. But for me, where I would recommend starting is your profile. All right, so we're going to go to the profiles here. You can see everything's completely empty. And you kind of have two options. You can create a new profile, or you can create a new profile group. And that's kind of up to you what you want to do and how you plan on using this, all right? So in my use case, we're going to do everything in this training for my use case, all right? In my use case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a profile group for, let's say, Tier 5, my company, the company that's actually built this software. I'm gonna create a profile group for Tier 5, and it says that that guy already exists. So I'm gonna create the Tier 5 sales team here. All right, so now I have the Tier 5 sales team. So now I can either choose from existing profile, or I can add a new profile. So I still don't have a profile. All I have is a little group where I can group those profiles together. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a new profile here, all right? And whenever you add this profile, you're just gonna give the information we asked for: full name, first name, last name, company name, email, phone number, zip code, state, email address, your canned spam full address. If you don't know what this is the address that you actually have to have a URL that talks about your canned spam, all right? So you can see what it says right here. You must put your full company address to comply with canned spam. So what they want is your actual physical address. All right, you can put that there. All right, now if you want to comply with regulations, you need to fill that out, and it needs to be included in the email that you're gonna send. That is if you want to actually comply with canned spam regulations. We do not force you to comply with that if you don't want to. That is a grown-up decision that you get to make, and that is because you are an adult. So as an adult, we assume that you're capable of making your own decisions, and we let you make your own decisions, all right? This bottom part here is going to be your email signature, all right? So if you want to have an email signature here, like I'm going to put in John Vaughn founder, CEO, tier 5, and you can put in whatever else that you want to put in here. This could be a good spot for you to put in a link directly to your chatbot if you want to put in a link directly to your chatbot, all right? So now I've created my profile. That's all the information that I need in my profile. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to set up the email for this profile, all right? Remember I told you that what this software is going to do is it's going to go out to the internet, it's going to find all the leads that you tell us to find, and then it's essentially going to go to their website, find their email addresses, and send out an email or a series of emails as you find, and it's going to also submit the contact us form automatically. So if you want to send out an email, you're going to have to connect your email address. So I'm going to use Gmail. You can use Gmail or you can use SMTP if you want to use SMTP. I'm going to use Gmail because I like Gmail. So here what we're going to do, I'm just going to pick my right email address. I want to use this John at tier 5 email address. And I'm just going to give Robo Contact access. All right. Now I've got my email address set up. If you want to test your email configuration, make sure stuff is working, you can go in and do that. And you should be getting an actual email. If you see, here's the email that I just got from Robo Contact to let me know that my email configuration is actually working. And you can see that it's actually been sent out from the email address that I just connected to Robo Contact. All right. So now this guy is complete. All right. So now I've got a profile group, and that profile group has one profile in it, and that is the John Vaughn profile. All right. If you want to have more profiles, you can have more profiles. Let's say I have more than one salesperson. All right. So if you have more than one salesperson, you can go in and you can create a new profile. All right. So you can create this new profile, and we're going to put him on the tier 5 sales team, and his name is also going to be John Vaughn. Imagine that. I'm the only salesperson here. And I'm just going to put in a different email address here. All right. And I'm going to give the same. I'm going to give the same thing here. All right, so there is my email signature. I've got him all done. So now I've got my second profile. You're also going to want to connect a different email address for this different profile. All right. Now I am going to give you a little heads up. If this is your main business email address, all right, if this is your main address for your email, this is the most important thing to your business. This is what all your clients are communicating on to you. I would recommend using a different email address. Like I use G Suite, and my main Gmail account I never use. I mean, it is this account, but what I do is I use G Suite, and then I just create auxiliary emails under my G Suite account, under that same G Suite account. That way, if one gets closed down, it's no big deal because it's my main account. It's just an auxiliary account that I set up under there, okay? I do want you to keep in mind that if you are going to use the email function of stuff and you get reported for a whole lot of spam because you're sending out a whole bunch of emails, they can close your email address down. I have seen it happen before. I will show you as we move on ways that you can mitigate that. There are ways that you can mitigate that, and the biggest way that you can mitigate that is by not putting links in your emails. Don't put videos in your emails. Don't put pictures in your emails. Don't make an email that is more than 2 or 3 sentences long. You are not at this point in the game. If you don't understand at this point in the game, you are not trying to sell something to anybody. You're not trying to give somebody a link to your MLM. You're not trying to tell anybody about your business and get them to go visit something. You're not trying to do any of that. What you're trying to do is you are trying to start a conversation point blank. You're trying to send out a small little email, a small little message, and get somebody to respond back to you so that you can actually start a conversation. That is the best way that you will ever be able to do a sale, all right? Your conversion ratio from having a 3-paragraph email with all sorts of links to your offer and buy this and buy that is not going to convert very well. Somebody's going to open up that email. They don't know who you are. They've never seen your email address before. They're going to see a 3 or 4 paragraph email, and they're just going to leave it. They're going to delete it. They're going to report it as spam. They're not going to pay any attention to it. If you have 1 or 2 sentences they will read that email. And as long as you have the right 1 or 2 sentences, they will most likely respond to you, where you can now actually start a dialogue, start to build a relationship, where after you build that relationship, then you can try to sell something. If you do not try to build a relationship before you sell something, you are not going to be very successful. All right? So now I'm going to go in here again. I'm going to test my email configuration because I just connected my second email configuration.
John?
Yes?
About the email, what you said about the G Suite account. So you mean you created some aliases for using inside of Robo Contact? Or?
No, I mean, I just have a G Suite account. And in that G Suite account, you can add as many users as you want, and those are all different inboxes. So like if you saw whenever I just connected, I had John at tier 5, I had hello at tier 5, I had work at tier 5, I had sales at tier 5, I had outreach at tier 5. So like for example, outreach, it's just an extra inbox that I use for this purpose. In case it gets closed down, my main email isn't getting closed down. They're not going to close your whole domain down. They're just going to close that one email down. So whatever is your administrator account for G Suite, don't send emails out from that account. What you can do is in your profile, you can put your email address as that main account. And whenever we send things out, it's going to go from whatever account that you selected. But whenever they look and see what your email address is, it's going to show whatever email address that you put inside the system. All right? So definitely don't use your main one. All right?
All right. Got it.
So
thanks.
You can see that my second email went through. So I'm all connected here. All right? So now I've got, if I go back to my profiles, I have a bunch of drawing on my screen. I'm not sure why. Just going to get rid of that for some reason. Somebody wants to draw on my screen. You can see I have the tier 5 sales team here, and I've got 2 different John Bond profiles. I've hooked up my profile 2 times, and now the reason I'm doing this is, one, I know that for G Suite, the Gmail API limit is 2,000 emails per day that you can send through their API. If you want to send any more than that, you're going to have to create more than 1 profile. And what we're going to do is we're going to round robin between these profiles. All right? If you want to send out 10,000 emails a day through G Suite, you need to have 5 different email addresses and create 5 different profiles, and we will round robin between those profiles and evenly distribute all the emails that we send out so that you can send out 10,000 emails a day. So it's basic math. However many emails you want to send out per day, divided by 2,000 if you're using G Suite, that will tell you how many email accounts that you actually need. All right? So my profile groups are all set up. So the next thing I'm going to do is go in and set up my contact us messages. All right? So now I'm going to create a contact us message group, and I'm just going to call this software development outsourcing. All right? So now I've got a group of contact us messages. The reason that you have a group is because we will also round robin. All these different contact us messages so that you can actually split test and see which ones are actually working and which ones aren't. And then you can come in and adjust accordingly. So I'm going to add a new message. This message name is not really important, so I'm just going to call it message 1. And I'm just going to say software developer position available. All right. So it's going to be this simple here. All right, so this is my simple message. I'm just going to say, and yes, I am sure about that. So as long as you're not using your main email address, and how do I know? Because I've had several of my email addresses from Gmail get shut down, and I still have my same Gmail account. I still have my same G Suite account, and I've had over 500 email addresses at least that have been actually banned from Gmail and shut down from Gmail whenever we were building this software and testing this software, but they have not actually disabled my main ones, all right? So that's because I don't use them, not for this purpose. So you can see this is my message. It's short and sweet. I'm not going to try to get them to give me a job. I'm not going to try to get them to do anything crazy. I'm just going to ask them if they have any software engineering positions available and if they hire remote developers. All right? That's it. I'm going to put my name in there. Thanks a lot. Put a little comment in there. Try to be grammatically correct at least. I'm going to save that up. All right? You want to add new messages? You can add another one. Message 2. And I'm just going to say something like, I'm just going to do something simple like this again. Do you guys do Swift programming, iOS apps? Let me know. Thanks, John. Again, I'm not going to ask them, will you hire me? Will you give me a job? I'm looking for a job. I'm just trying to start a conversation here. I'm just trying to get them to actually respond back to me. If they respond back to me, I know it's going to be easier for me to actually reach their inbox the next time I want to talk to them. All right? So that's all I'm going to do for my Contact Us messages. All right? So I've got a Contact Us message group. It's called Software Development Outsourcing. And I have got 2 messages there. The next thing that we're going to do is our email messages. And I'm going to create a new email group. I'm going to give it the same name. Keep in mind, you don't have to give it the same name if you don't want to. I'm just giving it the same name to make it easy. Again, remember this email, this name doesn't actually mean anything. This first name is just for you to understand what this message is for. All right. So now here I can actually put in these merge fields. All right. All right, so that's going to be as simple as my messages. I'm just going to say, hey, I was just wondering if business name, whatever the name of this business is, has any open positions for software engineers. Thanks, John. Pretty straightforward. All right, so if you want, you can go ahead and save this and be done with it. Or if you want, you can add a follow-up. All right, so I'm going to add a follow-up, and it's going to be called message 2, and it's just going to be I'm just going to do something like Ray, software development. All right, so hopefully you see what I did there. All I did was just say this is just my follow-up message. I'm just following up with them. I'm going to follow up with them how many days? Let's say 3 days after I send them this first message, I'm going to send them the second message and just follow up with them and ask them. And I'm going to say, hey, was checking out your Facebook page. And I'm just going to stick in their Facebook page here and say, it seemed like you're working on my favorite tech stack. Let me know. I'm going to save that, and that's going to be done. All right? So I'm going to come back to my email messages. I've got my email messages that I need here. So I'm good. All right? So now I almost have everything that I need. All right? I've got my profiles. I've got my contact us messages. And I've got my email messages. Pretty much every single thing that I need is already here. All right? The next thing that I may want to do is go in and add some email filters. All right? These email filters allow you to essentially filter out emails that you know are probably no good emails. For me, I'm going to filter out .gov because it seems like government people get angry whenever you email them. I'm going to filter out no reply. I'm going to filter out email. And I think that's probably enough filters for me for right now. All this is going to do is if somebody has, if somebody actually has an email address that contains .gov or contains no reply or contains email, you're just not going to send out emails to those email addresses. All right? So now I've got my filters. Everything I need right now to go in and actually run a campaign. So now I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go to a campaign. I'm going to create a campaign. And I'm going to create this campaign name, and it's going to be, you know, software firms Miami, Florida. All right, I'm going to run a search here. I'm going to pick Miami, Florida. All right, I could add more locations if I want, so I'll add another one. Miami Beach. Here's Miami Beach. Add another location. This is going to be Miami Gardens. And I think that's going to be it. And I'm going to look for software development. All right. So I'm going to target 3 locations in Miami. I'm going to target software development because that's the type of business that I want to find. The email group that I'm going to send out is software development outsourcing. The contact us message is going to be software development outsourcing. The profile group I'm going to send is going to be the tier 5 sales team group. All right. If you want to turn on your email filters, just turn on your email filters. If you've got additional email filters that you want to add at this point, you can feel free to add them there. Then you just need to fill out your options. All right. Do you want to send out an email and fill out the contact us form? Do you want to send email only when the contact us form is not submitted? Or do you want to send email only and do not fill out the contact us form? We are adding at your request to only fill out the contact us form and do nothing else, so that you will see in the system by the end of next week. So I'm going to pick both because I like to do both. All right. Now, you can send a Zapier. We'll go over that in a minute. You can run immediately after search if you want. You can remove canned spam full address, or you can remove your unsubscribe link. These here, we give you a little disclaimer. We're not liable for consequences if you decide as an adult, again, to make a decision that you don't actually want to comply with regulations. So if you don't want to do that, don't do it by all means. That's completely up to you. You're an adult, make that choice, but do not hold us responsible for it. So now I'm just going to go in and run this search. And this will take some time to actually run this search because I've picked 3 different locations here. I didn't pick just one location. I picked 3 distinct locations. So this is going to take some time. It's going to go in and actually run a search. And we're actually in the process of building out an integration to segregate how you guys do the searches so that you can get more information before you process stuff. All right? We're always adding in new features to these softwares. If you want, while that is processing, you can always go in and you can check out all the leads that you got. All right. So we just got, and I think that's a good amount of software development firms. We got 64 software development firms in Miami. So if you want to ignore duplicates, I recommend always ignoring duplicates, because what could happen is a company could create 3 Google business listings and be listed in 3 different cities that are all relatively close, just because they want to try to acquire more local business that way. All right, so I'm going to select all. If you don't want to select all and you want to just go in and pick and choose, you can pick and choose. I'm going to select all. And then I'm just going to hit this process button. Now, this is where the autopilot comes in, because now you're on autopilot. Now the software is doing its job. It's going out and finding all this information for these people, for these businesses. And I'm going to show you my email address right here. All right. Here's my John at tier 5. You can see this is John at tier 5. Here's another one. This is hello at tier 5. And you can see my email message is actually being delivered. Here's my unsubscribe link. Here's my canned spam link. You can see that it is actually just sending out these. It is actually sending out these messages from my email address. All right. So these messages are actually being sent as we speak right now. You can see they're all going out from my email address right now. All right. As we find them and as we actually process things, they're going out right now. You can see I sent to support, to billing, to sales, to info, to Bolivia, to Manuel. All these are going out from that campaign right now as we speak. So that campaign is just going to actually process. As that campaign processes, if you want to run another campaign, you can run another campaign. All right. So let's create a new campaign. And we're going to call this a Zapier test. What we're going to do is we're going to put in a city, New York, and we're going to put in software development again. I'm going to pick software development outsourcing, contact message outsourcing, profile group is this tier 5 group. I'm going to turn on our email filters. We're going to pick the same option here. The difference is we're going to send this data to Zapier. All right. So to send this data to Zapier, what we're going to do is we're going to go open up Zapier.com. And I'm going to create a new little Google Sheet here. And here I'm just going to show you how you can export the data to your CRM of choice, anything that you want to do. All right, so I'm just going to show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to make a Zap, and you're going to want to come over here. You're going to want to come to your settings. You're going to want to come to your Zapier integration. You're going to want to grab this Zapier invite URL so you can find our Zapier app. All right. And you're going to want to create a token. You can call it whatever you want. Just create that token. Get this little ID right here. We're going to trigger on a new submission. So the only thing that you can do is whenever there's a new submission, you're going to trigger. And you're going to need to connect an account. We're going to connect this account right here. All right. I'm going to save and continue. And we're going to select all our campaigns here. And we're going to continue. And we're hopefully going to get some test data. And we just got some test data here. You can see here's some test data here. All right, so we're going to continue on. We're going to add an action step. And let's just come back over here real quick. Look at our data. We got business phone. We've got business website, contact us form. All right, so we're just going to start right here with business name. Put our business name in there. We're going to get, I think the next important thing is going to be business phone. So we're going to put that business phone inside there. We'll grab their website. Oops, I'm grabbing the wrong information. Sorry about that. We put the right information in there. All right, you want to put their email in there. Anything that you want, you can, any of that data that you want, you can put inside there. So for this demo purposes, I think that's enough information to show you how to stick that in anywhere that you want to stick it. I'm just going to stick it in Google Sheets for just fun, because I got no better place to stick it. You guys can put it in your CRM or anywhere that you want. You can actually send out an email to somebody if you're generating leads, all right? So I'm going to pick Sheets. I'm going to create a spreadsheet row. I'm going to pick this account right here because I know that's what I just used to actually create that spreadsheet. And I'm going to use this RC Zap test. And I'm just going to match my data with business name to business name, business phone to business phone, business website to business website, and business email to business email. Pretty straightforward, right? Not super difficult. Send that data to Google. There's my data. He's just been added right there. I'm going to go ahead and delete him up because he's useless. I'm going to finish this guy up, and I'm going to call him an RC Zap test. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn them on here. And I'm going to leave them in my dashboard. All right? So now that I've got him set up, now that I've got my Zapier integration set up to drop all this data off here, all right, I'm going to go in and I'm going to run this search here. And I'm going to let this guy actually just go out and do his job and search for these leads for me. That is his job, so I can just hang out. He's going to do this all by himself. I am going to not do so much. I'm just going to hang out and wait for him to do his job, because what I would have typically had to do is I would have typically had to tell this girl that sits right here behind me, that's my assistant, and I would have to tell her, look, go out to the internet and find all this information for me and manually do this process. And she would spend her entire day, maybe her entire 2 days, doing this process that the software just did for me in just a couple seconds. So now I can have her do more useful stuff because she don't have to waste her time doing all this. All right? So now I'm going to go in and actually process this up. You can see I've got a bunch more software development firms. I got another 58 software development firms in New York. So I've got all these software development firms, and guess what? I can go in, I can contact them right up automatically as well. So I'm going to go in and actually process this. And if I were to go in and actually look back over here, you can see all these emails are going out. You see all these emails. Look how many emails I sent out already from that last campaign. And I can see that I've got some replies already. All right. This one was a mail not delivered. This one was also a mail not delivered. These are just letting me know that they actually received my request, all right? And they will get back to me as soon as possible. So these guys are just saying, hey, we've got your request, and we're going to get back to you as soon as possible to let us know, all right? This person's out of the office here, and they're going to let me know in case of an emergency that I need to contact somebody else in case of an emergency. Great. At least I know they're getting my information. I'm going to go back to this first campaign here. I'm going to take a look, and I can see I got a 62.5 success rate of contacting these people. I was able to contact 25 of them. 6 of them had no form. 4 of them had forms, but they had CAPTCHAs, and 5 of them just failed. And they can fail for all sorts of reasons. It just depends on how that software, how their websites are handling form submissions. All right? So I can go in and essentially see, all right, I emailed this guy. I can see, hey, look, this guy, I got his Facebook profile. You can see they do modern development and creative solutions. I can see that they don't have a chat bot, so I could just easily come in here and say, hey, so I can just continue my prospecting right here, right now. Just that easy because I have their social information. I can go check them out on Google, and I can see that they have this information here, so I could literally use that in my prospecting, and I can just come back to their Facebook, and I can see that, just tell them something like, so I'm just going to give them this information. As you can see, I'm just actually continuing out my little prospecting here with some useful information that I just got whenever I generated them. Here's another guy right here, so I can just go check him out and see. Let's check out his Facebook. All right, so they're definitely not running any type of chatbot here. They're doing a call to action. They're doing a call to action right here. All right. I can check out their Twitter. I can check out their LinkedIn. Let's see what they do on LinkedIn. See if they got any jobs for me here. And I need to not know what that is. I don't even use LinkedIn, but it looks like they've got some jobs. All right. So they've got a job for a project manager. Looks like that's the only job that they have, but you can see how useful that is. I can see what they're doing on Instagram. If I want to check out their Instagram, I can check that out. I could probably come back over here, maybe. Don't see where any data has been given to my sheet yet, and that's probably because my Zap hasn't ran yet. So let me go find my Zap over here that usually runs and see if I can find this RC demo. Where did I put that RC demo at? Not quite sure where I put that RC demo. I know for a fact that I just made that Zap. Thought I put it in my home folder. Definitely not that guy. He's that guy right there. I never turned him on. Okay, now I got him turned on. Let me go run this guy. All right, so I didn't have him turned on, so that was my issue because I didn't have him turned on. No big deal. I can always go in and run another campaign and check that other campaign out. This campaign's still processing, so let me go in and create another campaign. And I'm just going to check Los Angeles, California here, because that's a good place. Also check software development. Turn on my email filters again. Send this to Zapier. Go ahead and run my search here. All right. So far, so good. Everything's pretty easy, as you can see. Still got my emails coming out here. So still sending out different emails here. No big deal. Got my leads here. Going to go in and process these guys. And these guys will now actually essentially get processed. I do want you to keep in mind that if you want to create users, you can go in and actually create other users as well. And you can just create any user that you want, and you can essentially give them their own account here, and they can go in and use the software for themselves. All right. So you can give this software. You can just create another user for, let's say you just want to generate leads for your clients. You can create accounts for your clients and then just allow them to actually log in. They can create their own profiles. They can create their own contact us message groups. They can create their own email groups. They can run their own campaigns, and they can generate their own leads, all right? You can add in as many users as your plan allows. If you are a Tier 5 community member, that means you can add in as many users as you want, because we don't put any limits or restrictions on Tier 5 community members. If you're not a Tier 5 community member, then you're limited to whatever plan that you signed up for, all right? If you want to get more, then you either can upgrade or you can become a Tier 5 community member, and we will remove all restrictions from your account, all right? So far, so good. You can come over here to your email tracking, and you can see all the emails that actually went out, all right? Now, it does say email open here, but this is not accurate. This actually, we don't have a way to track these emails. We did whenever we were actually using Postmark API, but the Postmark API is actually, they did not actually like this service using their API. So what would happen is our users would go in and they would take the time to set up Postmark, and they would start actually using it with this software, and Postmark wouldn't like it, and they would shut down their account, and you'd have to go set up another account. And since it takes like 2 hours to get all the accounts set up, we just decided to discontinue them as a service. So this email status is not going to actually tell you the status of the email. You will be able to go in and actually look at your campaign logs, and you'll be able to see for each campaign that you've ran, how many people were contacted through a contact us form, how many people got emailed, how many people got contacted through a contact us form, how many people actually got emailed. I wanted to go check that Zap and see if there's some reason that my Zap didn't actually run. And I can see that my Zap is now running. And there's my data getting popped automatically into my Zapier account, as you can see. And what's my success rate for getting clients like this? So, as you can see, my beautiful computer here. You see my other beautiful computer over there. See my couch. See my conference room right here. Here's my conference room. There's my development area out there, where you can see my development area, where I have approximately 40 full-time software engineers that sit out there and they work. And every single one of those software engineers, except for about 7 of them who work on our own products, they work for one of our clients, and every single one of our clients I have got in this way, all right? Well, not every single one, but every single one of our clients that is a software development firm, all right? So there's 2 ways that I get clients for our company. One way is I look on freelancer websites, and I did that for a long time. And the types of clients that I get from freelancer websites are not that great of a client, because they require me to always be chasing, always be prospecting, always be looking for a new client. The clients that I prefer are software development firms, because they consume my services all the time. They hire software engineers. They have software engineers on staff, so they always need software engineers. And literally, this is the exact same software. So if you don't know anything about Tier 5, we have a lot of different softwares, and every single software that Tier 5 has is a software that I personally have had my developers build, so that it will make my job easier in scaling my company, all right? This software specifically was the first software that we built for ourselves, so that I did not have to spend so much time prospecting and looking for clients, because I literally used to do this myself manually. Go in and find these companies, search for these companies, find their emails, submit their contact us form myself manually, grab up their emails, send them out an email in the same exact way. You know, hey, do you guys hire remote developers? Hey, do you guys work in this technology? Do you guys work in that technology? Anything to get them to actually reply back to me, so I could continue on a dialogue, and I would continue on that dialogue over days. So For me, it worked really great. For me, it was essentially this is the exact same software that allowed me to scale my company from 6 software engineers to now over 40 full-time software engineers that work here at our company. So, and just if you're wondering why I'm speaking crazy, it's because it's literally where I'm at. It's if you can't tell, it's 3:21 in the morning where I'm at right now. It's 3:21 a.m. So I've been up since 6 a.m. in the morning working. And I'm out of tea, so I'm a little tired, and I'm out of tea, but I wanted to take some time to actually show you guys exactly how to set everything up in the software. You can see all my data has now been delivered right here, just like I wanted it to, so you could pop that right into your CRM if you wanted to, pop that right into your CRM. So we've went over everything that you need to know. You can go in. I did not show you how to create user accounts, but it's really, really simple. You just give somebody a name, give them an email, give them a password, a confirmed password, give them a company, and then now they can log into Robo Contact and they can use their account. They're going to use it from your contacts. So you get X amount of contacts per month. If you're a tier 5 community member, that number is an unlimited number. You can use it as much as you want. There is no upper bound limit for you whatsoever if you're a community member. All right. But your sub users are going to actually consume your connects, your contacts that you have, all right, your site submissions. So I seen and I know it's in here, all right. Trying to think of where it's at. Oh, it's right here. All right, so here's all your contacts right here. And here's all your information that you have about everybody. All right, everybody that you've contacted so far. You can see all the information that you have about them. You can view them as a contact if you want, see the information, type in any notes that you want. But I saw a question where you said, I think, Brian, that was you, where you said, what if they respond to your initial email before the next follow-up fires off? Well, you can always just come in here and you can search them by their email, and then you can just unsubscribe them so that they don't get any of your follow-up emails, all right? So if you have somebody and they come in and they actually respond out to your email, like this person right here, you can just go in and find this person, and you can just be like, hey, person, that's right here that responded to my email. Let me find you out. And I couldn't find that person for some reason. Not really sure. I can find that person there. All right. So I can see that person is right here. Here's the different email addresses I have for that person. And what's happened is they have a different reply to address is what's actually happening. They have a different reply to address, and that's what I'm seeing. So now if you want, you can just unsubscribe them so that they don't get any of your further messages if you don't want them to get your further messages, okay? So hopefully that answered your question, and that's exactly what you would do if they respond back to you before any of your follow-ups go out. You can just go in and find them in the system, and you can just unsubscribe them from getting any of your future messages. All right, let's see. Can you track if when they opened up your email address? No, you can't because you're using Gmail and it doesn't actually give you that functionality. So we've been thinking about we've been honestly debating whether or not we wanted to actually include some type of tracking code in the email. But what happens if we include some tracking code in the email is we actually have to send a raw HTML email, and we have to embed a script inside there. And what will essentially happen if we do that, it's more likely that your emails will get flagged as spam. They won't make it to the actual inbox, and your account is going to get shut down. All right, so that's one of the main reasons that we haven't actually done it. However, if you want us to do it, then you've got two options. You can go out to our website, you can buy our software, and once you buy our software, you can come right inside here, and you can come right here, and then you can just click this little menu, and you can click customer support, and you can put in a suggestion, and you can just suggest that we do that. If you're a community member, you can always do the same thing, but you can also post inside the Tier 5 community, which will give you more traction. And if that is a big demand that people want, then we will go in and build it on demand for you. That's part of what we do at Tier 5, especially in the community. We let you guys tell us exactly what features that you want in the software, and we go build them out for you. Like I said, I will let you know some of the downfalls of doing that. If we go in and actually add in that code snippet so that you can track whether somebody actually opened your email or not, it will get you flagged as spam more often. It will get you put into the junk mail or the spam more often because you're having to send an HTML email, and there is an embedded code in there. And trust me, that email service provider is reading and parsing out your email to look for those types of things. All right, so that's the reason that we don't have it in right now. Kyle says, let's see, any other questions there? Are you sure about the G Suite statement? You can multiple users, and if email gets stopped, it doesn't affect the main account, just that user. That is correct, Jimmy. Kyle says, super cool research tool. I like the social links it finds. I love Zapier too. I bet I can use that to send it to my CRM. That's awesome. That is totally true. And if you like those features, Kyle, you're going to love the features that we're actually rolling out by the end of this month. So by the end of this month, we have 2 big integrations coming up. We have an integration with Hunter.io. As you probably noticed, if you come look at your campaigns here, all right, as you probably noticed, whenever you look at your campaigns, this one had a 76% success rate. But as you probably noticed when you look at some of your campaigns, some of these guys don't have emails because we couldn't find any email on their website. There's none tied to their Contact Us form. There's none just embedded on their website. Some companies are smart, especially tech companies. Some of them are really smart, and what they do is they take their email addresses and they convert them to images so that our software cannot actually grab them from the website because it is not a text, it's an image, and we are not able to understand at this stage that that image is an image of an email address. All right, so we're working on an integration right now as we speak to integrate Hunter.io so that you'll just hook up your Hunter.io account, and they have a free version, so it's pretty cheap. It's like $25 a month for I think like 10,000 API requests. They have a free account that's like either 500 or 1,000 a month. So as long as you're not going ham on using Hunter and doing 10, 20,000 contacts a month, you're going to be fine. It's not going to cost you any additional money. But what they will allow you to do is if we don't find the email address on their website, we can just give it to Hunter, and Hunter will search all over the internet and find associated emails based on that domain, and it will give them back to you validated that they're valid emails and they exist, and you can send emails to them. So we got that integration coming out this month, and we also have an integration with Tower Data. Tower Data will essentially allow you to give that email address and get that, because what Hunter will do is Hunter will give you the actual email addresses of different people inside the organization. So you'll know who the CEO is, who the HR director is, who the CTO is, all right, who the managing director is. You'll know who these different positions are, and then we can take that email of the CEO, let's say, and hand that over to Tower Data, and Tower Data, well, Hunter will give us back that CEO's name, his position, his phone number, his social profiles, and his email. And then we can take that email, we can hand it over to Tower Data. They'll give us back that guy's phone number. They'll give us back that guy's education level. They'll give us back that guy's marital status, his parental status. They'll give us that dude's annual income. They'll tell us if that dude owns or rents his house, how long he's been there, what his education level is, what sectors of commerce he has actually spent money on, or he has showed interest in spending money on. So they will give you an extremely large amount of data back, so that what you can actually do is whenever you're doing your pre-qualification and whenever you're doing your outreach, you can focus on the people that are more apt to buy your services. If you're selling a really low ticket item, it's there's a big difference between selling a low ticket item than selling a high ticket item. All right, obviously if you're selling a high ticket item that's a $10,000 thing, it's very unlikely that if you find out that some of these people that some of these businesses, because to have a business listed on Google doesn't necessarily mean that you actually have to have a real business. Anybody can go list a business on Google. Anybody can just start a business from their basement if you want. All right. So to try to sell somebody a $10,000 package and be able to know at the beginning that this dude only makes $50,000 a year income is a salary range. Well, what's the odds he's going to buy your $10,000 thing? Probably not very high. So Tower Data will be able to tell you, hey, this dude makes an annual income of $170,000 to $200,000. That guy is much more likely to buy your $10,000 thing, a lot less likely to buy your, $27 how to get rich quick thing, right? Because he's a different type of person. So Tower Data will allow you to now go in and actually filter that. And then we're adding logic into the system where based on that information, you can decide what you want to do and what messages that you actually want to send out. But you can see all that information inside here. Let's see if you guys, any other questions that you guys had? Jimmy said, what's your success rate for getting clients this way? Like I said, this is how I scaled my company. This is how I afford, literally, this is how I afford a 4,000 square foot office with over 40 full-time software engineers. This is how I afford to build software like this and all the other tier 5 software tools, because this has been my process for most of the last 2 years, all right? So my first year in business, I didn't have this tool and I did a lot of manual stuff. I did a lot of manual prospecting. I didn't have this tool. About 6 months into business, I got really tired of manual prospecting and spending all my physical time. I was working 18 hours a day just trying to find clients, trying to grow my company, trying to find clients. I didn't have advertisement money. I didn't have a lot of money to definitely compete with other software engineering firms. I didn't have that. I had to figure out how to get clients. So I was out here doing it manually. So I didn't want to do that anymore. So I sat with my engineers. We sat down and planned out this software, and it took us about 6 months to actually build this software and implement this software. And ever since then, I've had 2 mixtures. I've looked at freelancing sites for one type of client, and then I've used this to actually court and find new software engineering companies. So the success rate is decent for me. So in the services that I'm actually selling, keep in mind though, I'm selling a high ticket service. I'm selling a service that costs my client anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 a month. It's the service that I'm selling. I'm selling a software engineering service, a professional service. All right, and it varies for everything that you do. I know that we have a lot of users in our software that what they do is they run SMAs, social media agencies, social media marketing agencies, and they get, excuse my French, but they get hell lot of clients from using our software. They get a whole lot of clients targeting dentists, targeting lawyers, targeting chiropractors, targeting realtors, to go in and actually manage their social media and manage Facebook advertisements for them. So I do want you to keep in mind though, your success rate and your conversion rate has nothing to do with this software right here. This software is guaranteed every single time to do its job. The conversion rate has nothing to do with the software. The conversion rate has everything to do with you and your messaging, all right? Like I said at the beginning, if your ideal of a message is you're going to do, and I get people like literally I could go in and show you the Robo Contact support chat that we have where people are like, well, how do I embed a video? How do I embed an image? How do I embed my PDF in here, That's stupid. That's completely stupid. On your first email to somebody that you've never talked to before, you want to go in and do a 5 or 6 paragraph thing and put 5 different links to different things, and you want to embed a video and you want to embed pictures. You just think you put yourself in a situation whenever you get an email from an unknown person and you've never seen that email address before, and you decide, okay, their subject line has convinced you a little bit to click it open, and all of a sudden you got to scroll down like for 3 seconds to see the entire email. Are you going to sit and read that? Probably not. Most likely not. You're just going to delete it and you're going to go on to the next. What will you read? You will read something like this. Why will you read this? Because your brain processes information so fast that as soon as you open this and look at it, your brain has already read it. You don't even have to really make a choice to read it. Your brain is just going to automatically process this because there's not a lot of information here. There's not a bunch of information for you to actually look. If I send this out to this person, when he opens it, his brain automatically reads it. It's stuck in his brain. He just has automatically read it. We're human beings. That's what our brains naturally do. And now he knows. As long as it's short and sweet, now he knows, all right? If you've done put in If you put in 3 paragraphs of stuff, your brain can't automatically process all that information in 2 seconds. It's just not possible. So he's not going to read that because it's too much information. He's going to delete it. So keep in mind, your success rate has nothing to do with the software. It has everything to do with your messaging and how you start a conversation with somebody, and then how you continue that conversation. Obviously, if I do this right here and this dude responds back to me and then I leave it and that's it, well, I'm not going to get a conversion. This is half the process. Now, I will show you in another live video how you can actually connect this software to another tier 5 software, and you can automate the next little chunk of the process, which is your follow-up, your constant follow-up to actually court this guy to get him to do that. And hopefully you know what that is. That's where they give you the money. They become a client, they convert, all right? But this is just your cold outreach. If you guys think that you're actually going to get a conversion and get a client just from your initial message, well, you're a hell of a good salesperson if you're able to do that. It's different for each industry and niche. That is for sure. Great integration, says Ryan. Jimmy says, I have clients that pay monthly to create relevant links. We scrape using contact forms offering to write a free article, so we only contact authority sites. We only send sites that have good matrix. Is there a way to know the matrix of websites? Robo Contact brings back page authority. So right now in the software, no, that doesn't exist. But like I said, any user of the software, all you guys have to do is go in here and, you know, click this button, click that button there, give a suggestion. That will literally go directly to our software engineers, me being one of them. We'll evaluate that. We'll actually evaluate the difficulty. So what we do, all right, so what we do, this is essentially exactly what we do whenever you guys give us a suggestion, all right? Whenever you guys give us a suggestion, every single suggestion that comes through our chatbot to a tier 5 engineer goes on this thing right here, all right? If you can't see what this is, it is a pie chart, all right? Literally every single suggestion that you guys give to tier 5 goes on a chart just like this. We're on this line right here. We evaluate the business element. And on this time right here, we evaluate the time complexity. Anything that actually comes in over here is an immediate go for us. So anything that comes over there, we are pretty much immediately going to schedule, and we are going to actually build out for you, because what that means is it will have a very high business aspect. It will have a very high business impact to you, and it also has a relatively proportionally low difficulty to go in and actually build, all right? These things that are up here, these are the secondary things that we will actually build out, all right? These are secondary things that we will build out. These are third things that we build out. These things we will obviously not build out. This thing is something that has a very high complexity to build and a very low impact on business. So those things we don't build out. Like I said, the Hunter integration is going to be rolled out by the end of this month. It will most likely be for tier 5 community members. It will most likely be rolled out by the end of next week. But for everybody else, you guys will see that by the end of the month. So hopefully that makes you understand everything about Robo Contact, what it is, how you can actually set it up, and how you can use it from the beginning to the end. So now, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. If you guys on Facebook have any questions, feel free to ask them. If not, then we're going to go and we're all going to go start using the software to get us some more clients and start our prospecting. So does anybody have any other questions that they want to ask while we're here? Anybody at all have any other questions that they want to ask while we're here? You're welcome. Thanks, Bella. It is pretty awesome. We are keep making it awesome and awesome. If you guys have any other suggestions, feel free to always just put those inside the chat bot, right inside the software. The site authority, if you want to give it, if you just want to, whenever you give that information, Jimmy, like if you go in and request a feature that, hey, you know, we want to collect this site authority, then if you just want to tell us a little bit about your process, how do you find that information out right now? What information is it that you look for? make it as detailed as possible. If you make it as detailed as possible, it actually mitigates and eliminates a lot of our actual research time, and it allows us to actually know that we're going to build essentially what you want instead of just guessing what you want. So if you can just make it as detailed as possible whenever you put in that suggestion, like I said, that's going to go directly to me and our engineers. We're going to put it on a pipe chart. We're going to go in and actually look and see what you want built. We're going to understand it. We're going to do our research, and then we're going to plot it out on a pipe chart. And like I said, if it comes in here, if it comes in on this part of the pipe chart, it is immediate action, and it's going to be built very, very quickly. And then if not, if it comes up here, we'll build it. It's going to take longer, obviously, but we'll build it first. We'll obviously build it before this one that takes a small amount of time, because we like to build things. What we like to build are the things that are going to have the biggest impact in your business. Those are the first things that we like to build out. So the things that are going to have the biggest impact in your building or in your business. Shakanu.
Yes, Sean.
Still here?
Yes.
Still win, bro. So any other questions? Do you guys have any other questions? If not, we can go. I still got engineers that are, even though it's 3:42 in the morning, I don't know if you can see out there, but I still got engineers that are sitting out there working for one of our clients in the medical industry, where we actually manage their entire CRM, and what they do is genomic sequencing, and they do essentially stem cell healing. So it's a really cool company called NSI. We're actually prototyping some hardware for them to ship stem cells all over the world, because it's one of the biggest problems that they have right now, is being able to actually ship the stem cells and them actually stay, because they actually have to live at sub 80-degree Fahrenheit temperatures. So it's kind of hard to ship them to patients. And Robo Contact does work worldwide. It will work anywhere in the world. But what you need to keep in mind with Robo Contact is it works with Google businesses. It works with Google Places. So I mean, it's dependent that in that place in the world that businesses are listing themselves on Google. And you would be surprised, in some places in the world, businesses don't just list themselves on Google, because in some countries that's just not the way that you find businesses. They have other ways that those people go in and search and look for businesses. So as long as the place in the world you're looking for, it's a common thing for businesses to have themselves listed on Google, and that's how people are searching for businesses, then yes, it is going to work. It does work anywhere in the world, but where it grabs its businesses is from Google. We are actually thinking about, for the US, adding in a Yelp integration as well, so that you can also grab businesses from Yelp, even though they're about the same. So if you ever have any other suggestions for data sources on where you guys want to actually look for businesses at, again, I would direct you right into our chatbot here, and just make a suggestion, be as detailed as possible with whatever you want us to build. And like I said, we're going to plot it out on a pipe chart, and if it's in the good sweet spots, we're going to build it out for you. If it's in that one little bad spot, we're just going to tell you that just doesn't make sense really to build it, because it's a large amount of time and it's a very, very low business impact. So unless we're measuring it wrong. Any other questions you guys have before we go? Is there anybody that's on this video right now that doesn't actually have a Robo Contact account yet? Anybody here that doesn't have a Robo Contact account that wants one? Let's see who's on my Facebook. I got 2 people on my Facebook here. Let's see who they are. Let's see if they're on this live. Looks like it is. Looks like it is Damon Matt and Kyle Tiger Wilson. Any of those guys here? Is there either of those guys here? Is that you, Kyle? Kyle, if you want, just go ahead and send me your email address on Facebook, and you will be our winner today, because you actually went out and you shared everything on Facebook, which was great. I really appreciate that. So just go ahead and send me out your email address. I will make sure that you get your Robo Contact account. It will be unlimited and unlocked for life, buddy. So any other questions while we're here that I can answer? If not, like I said, I'm going to go do a little bit more work, and then maybe sometime later on in the week, I will show you The second magical piece on how you can connect Robo Contact to another Tier 5 software to carry you not just only from the cold outreach and the cold prospecting to completely automate your entire follow-up and pre-qualification process so that you literally don't have to spend any real-time prospecting whatsoever. You can do as much of it as possible on complete actual autopilot. So just send me that information. It doesn't seem like you guys have any other questions while we're here.
Sorry to have missed you.
What's that?
I said, sorry to have missed it. I just got in from a birthday party.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a replay. I'll put it out in the Tier 5 community if you're a Tier 5 community member. If you're not a Tier 5 community member and you want to see what it's like to be part of the first ever community-owned and operated software development firm, feel free just to go check out community.tier5.us, and you can actually be part of Tier 5. You can actually be part of our company. You get unlimited access to all of our software. You actually get revenue shares in our company. You get to work directly with our software engineers to build any type of software that you want. You get access to a very supportive community that not only know how to use all our softwares and sell our softwares, but they also know the strategies that are actually working for them, and it's where I spend most of my time. So if you want to actually be able to consume most of my time, then you can just come in and join the Tier 5 community, and I will give you a very high precedent because you can ask any community member, I'm in there every single day as much as you guys actually need me. So if you need anything else, you guys know how to get me. So I'm gonna leave. I got some other work to do. I want to thank you guys for coming today. And like I said, if you need anything else, just give me a message on Facebook or post something in the community. You guys have a good day, all right?
Thanks a lot, John.
Yeah, my pleasure.